Yo. Before we get started, just how's the audio, mic and music and such? We've had some issues in the past, just with the mic and stuff, so it's just Morten. I'll put it in the title. People keep asking in the streams. There you go. This first part of the stream is probably going to be slightly boring. We just need some quick and dirty UVs for all the meshes, export some maps, and then get it into Blender. So. But anyway, this is what we're gonna be lighting. So we'll see how this turns out. It might be posted later. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. I know. Majora is just more catchy. Like when you say you're doing Skull Kid, I don't know, the connotations aren't as, I don't know, as badass as when you say you're doing Majora. I know it's not the monster Majora, but still. I really like Majora and Skull Kid as a villain in general, and I think the design is amazing. So this is part of, I'm not entirely sure what's going to be included in the final series, but I've recorded the entire process so far, from start to finish, creating this piece. And I'm not sure, like, so it's just the sculpting part and painting part, but I'm not sure if I want to include the import, like export from ZBrush, import into Blender, and the lighting. maybe. My voice is kind of sad. I think I'm just kind of tired. I think it might just be because this is not the most interesting part of a project. Just giving a mesh terrible UVs and waiting for UV Master to do its thing. Do I ever use clay polish? Sometimes. Maybe if I'm doing a hard surface piece and I need to clean up all the surfaces at once, I might use clay polish a few times. How's everyone doing? Having a good Friday so far? It's just like the most bootleg object ever. It sort of lives under the glove, but I just needed some more geometry. No, I think Cycles is amazing. I mean, honestly, most, if not all, of my rendering these days is done in Blender, a mix of Eevee and Cycles. So yeah, I mean, I think Cycles is great. But I've used something like V-Ray for the past 10 or 12 years. And so I'm very comfortable with V-Ray, but you know, I don't need that kind of fidelity for most of the things that I do anymore. Even though, I mean, Cycles can totally rival it. So, but you know, it's in Blender, it's free, and it's pretty easy to use. Yeah, wow. A ZBrush overhaul for Blender is amazing. Yeah, I mean, so for anyone who's hasn't seen, we started a second channel, second YouTube channel called FlippedNormals Marketplace. It's just it's a collection of free videos, trailers and such. So we're going to be posting a lot of free content on that channel, specifically excerpts from our paid tutorials, but more like chapters that we feel are great as standalone videos as well. So, if you like free stuff, head over to that channel and maybe watch a few videos. I don't really stream on Twitch. Our viewership is here on YouTube. Have thought about doing like, what's it called, multi-streams a few times, but it's too much to manage. Mario Painter for cinematic video games. Probably a mix. I mean, Painter is getting stronger and stronger. More feature rich for sure. Mario is still, I would say, just like, is still a king when it comes to heavy texturing. It'll be a while before Substance Painter can match that, so, even with Udemy support. Perfect UVs every time. You are very welcome, Track Effects. Yeah, it's a really good course. It's super solid. Like Jose is, I think he's a great teacher, but also he's an excellent rigger. So I think that course, I mean, if you're into facial rigging or if you're interested, that course is definitely worth picking up. No, Mario is not procedural like Painter is. I do not have pet birds, no. I think it might be the music. I mean, this, like I mentioned earlier on the stream here, this is going to be a full-fledged tutorial, so to speak. It's like a workflow kind of tutorial. And this is a stylized piece, so I guess there is that. I want to do more stylized stuff, so there's definitely a possibility. Right, I'm still working on the whole speeding up my workflow. That's why I haven't really given any specifics, but I can tell you that, I bought the Huion pen display instead of a regular, pen tablet. And it's forced me to rethink the way that I work. And it's also a mindset thing. I think, where before I was very concerned with, still am, every little detail without really considering the big picture. So now I'm forcing myself to work more close up and sort of just trust that my mind can keep track of the bigger picture. That's how I've done this project. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't seen the recordings of the work yet, but that's usually how I've kept track of it before. Sort of how I change my workflow is by looking at videos of myself working. Hey Jay, no, it's the other one. it's also, yeah, I'm Morten, and that's in the title as well. Yeah, I try to minimize the noodling. Another thing is also, one thing that I noticed that I do a lot is zoom in and out. So I'll go in, create some details, like 4 or 5 brush strokes. Then I'll zoom back out again to get an overview, but I'm not really looking. I'm just doing it sort of almost out of habit, just zooming out. So I'm trying to cut that away, which I've done on this project, and I've been a lot faster this time. Hey Jimmy. I'm good. I'm a little tired. It's been a pretty intense week. So now I'm just relaxing with some automatic unwrapping. We very, very occasionally I'll stream here on the channel. It's something that I would love to have more time for. But on rare occasions it does happen. So, how are you? Man, these rings are taking forever. Will I be playing Cyberpunk? I wasn't quite sure about it, but then over the last couple days, the Cyberpunk team has released quite a few videos detailing stuff about Cyberpunk, and it looks like it's actually a really, really interesting game, so I think I will pick it up. Exactly, Danilo. Marco, for your question, I don't texture that much. I don't really enjoy it, to be honest. But I know Painter. I wouldn't say good enough to do it really professionally, to be honest, because I rarely touch it. But I can do what I need to. Nothing fancy. And the same when it comes to Designer. I can get around Designer. I can create nodes. I can't create crazy advanced stuff like Daniel Tiger, for example. But I can create basic stuff that I need. That's perfect, Jimmy. Well, right now we do have a 20% sale on everything on the store. So if you're looking for a facial rigging course, I can definitely recommend that one. Yeah, like time boxing. we actually talk about that in our latest video on how to practice more efficiently. That's another thing that I've started doing. I did it a lot for this project, where I would set aside maybe 30-minute or 1-hour chunks, sort of decide on which area I wanted to work on and how much I wanted to get done, and I would try to force myself to achieve that within the time frame. And I was pretty consistent. You know, sometimes you go 5 or 10 minutes over, but that was another thing that definitely helped speed up this project. Francois, it's probably mostly going to be ZBrush related when it comes to sculpting. I have done sculpting in Blender in the past. It's just not as robust. So, you know, I know ZBrush so well, and I've been working with this for so many years. I'm definitely interested in creating content for Blender when it comes to sculpting, just because it's a platform that's getting more and more solid, but it is also constantly under development and things change. So yeah, not the sun. It's Majora is from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. It's the main villain, if you will, from that game. Right now, I you know, it doesn't look very exciting. I don't know what is going on with these rings. It really shouldn't take this long to unwrap these. That's ridiculous. 39 out of 49 cuts. This is just gonna be a mess. There's 1,000 and something. We can't really tell. Well, you know, if you have any questions, we're gonna be here for another couple minutes. So. Yeah, I mean, Majora's Mask and Metroid Prime, 2 fantastic games. Also, some of my all-time favorites. Yes, very heated sculpting moment. No, we're just waiting for ZBrush to unwrap. I mean, these handles could be anything between 1160 and 1999. So I guess we'll see once it finishes with this polygroup. Yeah, I should have really made some polygroup cuts before doing this. Yeah, it's a pretty beefy setup. I mean, I guess the most beefy thing in here is the Titan card that's in here, but it doesn't really make a difference for ZBrush. ZBrush can run on a rock, basically. Jesus. It's like, I almost want to cancel this, but I'm afraid to cancel because I don't want ZBrush to crash. Well, I mean, it depends. I always like to start out in Eevee when I do these kinds of renders. And if Eevee looks good, then I'll stick to Eevee. It's not really meant for real time, you know, I'm not doing any baking or anything game related. Thank you from Mexico. mean, I'm starting to think. I mean, here's the thing. We can only see a 1 here, you know? And thinking about it, that doesn't have to be restricted to 1,999. It could definitely be higher. But then we're in the like above 10,000 range. Let's give it to 1,999 and then see if it keeps going. Then we'll do something about this, because I need to get on with my life. It's the hardest thing for me to model / sculpt. I don't know. The fingernail. Yes. Actually, the tips of the fingers. I always struggle specifically with the tips of the fingers. I tend to use, I think we all do this in some way, use our own hands for reference, because that's something that's like immediately close by. Oh shit, yeah, okay, it's, Jesus, it's in the 10,000 range, so let's cancel that. Okay, it didn't crash. Let me just save this, actually. Okay, we'll do something about this. We'll just do like a general cut here. Something like that. Polygroup that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be a million. That's also very, very true. Sometimes we just trust blindly in ZBrush and it works, but not this time. Whoops. There we go. This should be a lot faster. I only save projects. I never save tools. Yeah, should have done this from the beginning. This is an odd shape. Great. What is that? Sharing the process of exporting to Blender. Yeah, it's pretty simple. We can cover that. Morten is not the bold one, no. Oh boy, here's another one. Transform a normal map to a black and white height map. Yeah, shit. What's it called? There's a software. It escapes me now. Someone in the chat can probably remember. I think Nold might be able to do that. Not sure. There's another one which is free. Oh, shit, I can't remember. Someone can definitely remember for me. I mean, Substance can. Yeah, Substance can as well. Then you need Substance. There's definitely a free piece of software that allows you to do that. If that's what you're looking for, even. Crazy Bump, that's the one. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure. The video might be up. No promises. Maybe. Hello, Danny. What is that, like a little lurk kitten or something like that? My UI config. Yeah. I can try and remember and put it in the... Yes, I will try. I don't have a way to share it immediately with you right now. I think I have shared it at some point. Pretty sure. Oh, really? Jeez, damn. We recently released a facial rigging course in Maya. Not a full one, but just focus on the face. So maybe that's of interest to you. Why not sculpt in Blender? Any significant difference? Yes, there are many significant differences. ZBrush is just more mature. Blender definitely has some cool tools when it comes to sculpting. But, I've been using ZBrush for the past, 10 or 12 years. It's just what I know. I have gotten more into sculpting in Blender, but I still find ZBrush to be a more robust tool. For me, the display tablet is definitely worth it. I really enjoy this kind of sculpting. There's no doubt that you can do the exact same thing on a Wacom tablet or any other pen tablet. It's very much personal preference, but I really enjoyed the display. Night night, Danilo. Thanks for watching. Man, this is also taking forever. Oh, it might be because the mesh is like 700,000 polys. Optimization wasn't really a key factor in this project. Most things are still just Dynameshed, haven't been ZBrush or anything. So. I use the Huion 22-inch Canvas Pro, Canvas 22, whatever's that, 22 Canvas Pro, something like that. Thank you, Severus. Thanks for stopping by. There we go. That no. We have another one. Not another one. Okay, efficiency. Boom. Here, I'll post it. There you go. Doing very well, Chris. Thank you. How are you? Yeah, it's not Blender yet. Just gotta get this thing exported first. I think we're there. Was that? I think that was the last subtool. Yeah. Master. There we go. Okay. We've got UVs on stuff. Man, those are some intense colors on this monitor. Let's see what that looks like in Blender. We might have to grade these. No, there's not really going to be any sculpting here. It's just going to be the lighting part. Someone sent me a link for Go See add-on for Blender. I just couldn't be bothered with installing it. So yeah, the colors are a little garish here. Pretty intense. Anyway. Okay. Time to export all of this out and get ourselves some maps. Okay. Sure, why not? wait. Yeah, that's just ZBrush, Morten. It's oh, Jesus. It's a common issue. We all suffer from that a little bit. Oh, that's great. Oh. Might have forgotten a small detail. Okay, let's do this again. Exporting. That's odd. All the subtools at once. Yeah, that's the whole point of the introduction to sculpting, that it's not, it's software agnostic. You can do it in any software. We talk about sculpting principles, learning principles. We just happen to use ZBrush to show it off. So Blender is just fine. No worries there. Thank you, China. Yes, just give me a sec. Just gotta get this mesh out. One sec. The facial rigging is not. It's specifically done in Maya. The rigging principles are, so if that's what you're interested in, there is stuff you can pick up from it, but Maya is the tool that we use for rigging in that one. And there's some very specific stuff with nodes, the setup, so it could be hard to follow in other software. If you're experienced with rigging, less so. But if it's like your first intro into rigging, into the world of rigging, then you really have to follow along in Maya. It's not always advantageous to do work at midnight. Like, the whole reason I was creating UVs was so I could get textures out, so that I could work with a lower res mesh in Blender, so I didn't have to use Polypaint or something like that. And then I forgot to decimate the meshes. A lot of people have been begging Henning to do Mario tutorials for years. All I can say is maybe. I'm not sure. It would be great, but you know, there's a lot of other stuff that we also do, so it's a maybe. Yeah, it's hard switching from Blender to Maya and vice versa. I don't know, you just have to do it. Muscle memory will sort of kick in. It's just practicing switching from the different software. That's really all there is to it. ZBrush is a one-time payment. I can never remember my computer specs, but it's, you know, some kind of 16 gigs of RAM. We have a Titan card in there, some kind of Intel processor, some kind of quad core. I can't remember, but it's pretty good, pretty well spec'd out. Yeah, there's some Zelda music appropriately playing in the background. Welcome to the stream, Siren. Wonderful. What do I think about software wars? It's ridiculous. It's like children having an argument or something. It's pointless. It doesn't make sense. It's like, just use whatever tool is best for the job and, I don't know, stop complaining. It's weird. I think it's weird. It's just software, you know. Fantastic. Just doing a quick test. We're just getting things prepped for lighting in Blender. Is someone else making Skull Kit at the moment? Yes, I do use the node wrangler. Is there a way in Blender to flip UV space really easily? I'm just thinking before I actually flip the UVs in ZBrush or something. I'm not sure. UV vector coordinates. Where do I find those? Is it the other way around? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. So close. Hey. Cool. Now, I need to figure out if this is something I want to do. Thanks, everyone. There might be a replay on YouTube. Not sure yet. Yeah, exactly. All of this is because of ZBrush being garbage. Good night, magnificent. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about. It's like writing in the past. Things have already been solved. Will do, Logan. Good night. Might save the stream. Not Not sure. Probably. It will probably be live. Yeah, the problem is, Andres, that I would be exporting polypaint from decimated meshes, which is going to be completely screwed up. But we could do that before. Yeah, we could do that before all this. No, I think the stream is still fine. Let's switch back to ZBrush so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, no, I was just working in ZBrush while the screen was showing Blender. It's a Huion Canvas 22 Pro, I think. I can never quite remember. happening? Well, I'm having issues actually getting the maps out, which is really annoying. For some reason, multi-map export just doesn't want to work. And I'm not sure why. It does have UVs. As you can tell from this. It's odd. I mean, just exporting everything manually would have been faster at this point. I guess export it manually. The annoying thing is then just... Now we're gonna have to flip UV coordinates. Oh well. Can we even get like an ambient occlusion map? Who knows? I'm curious if it is just broken. I don't know, it feels pretty broken. Yeah. I think it's just broken. It just gives me an error. Who knows? I think there's just something wrong with ZBrush. It was like when I was trying to export out color data from the FBX files before the stream, it also didn't want to do that. It's very weird. Oh, that's just mean. That's like, I feel like it's a feature built into ZBrush. Anyway, it's just decimating stuff. Just need to get a snack. I always feel like ZBrush crashes when you least want it to. It's like a law of ZBrush built into the code. Hey Marsh. Sorry, I'm just eating. This is ZBrush. Hello, expert man. That's just lovely. I love how sometimes Decimation Master is just trash. Like for this, for example. Very little wiggle room for when it produces an unacceptable result. Like there. For whatever reason. The reason is it took a little longer to get out of ZBrush than I expected. That's why the stream is inaccurately named. I just haven't changed it. But we'll get there. I'm just getting the model set up so I can go into Blender. Like Like I said before, it just took a little while, a little longer than I expected. We'll leave this one for later. Should be all of it except for the shirt. Just quickly do another test in Blender. Is there, I can't remember, is there an add-on for Blender that lets you import multiple OBJs? Yeah, expert man, there's no reason to keep saying the same thing. This is what happens when you select multiple meshes. The import for OBJs, it just imports one. Anyone know what happened to my cursor? It's a bug. Hover over. Oh, not work. Okay, great. Found this script, import multiple OBJs. Let's see if that works. It's something I've always wanted. Like, I never understood why it's not possible. It just, it's so basic. Let's see. Well, you are very welcome. Show. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll be sure to check out the Go Blender add-on after this. You guys have been pestering me about that for a while. Oh, interesting. It's actually coming in split up as the based on the polygroups. Anyway, cool. Don't need that yet because that is broken. Let's just fix that. Is my mic volume super low? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm actually not sure. I mean, it's probably from Pokemon. It's a, I think it's like Poke and Chill or something, this video, so probably. Oh, there we go. There we go. I couldn't understand what was happening. I'm just rambling like a madman here. I'm actually back in ZBrush now. While you guys are just watching Blender do nothing. 1 sec. I just need to decimate one more mesh. It's the shirt. This has got to be like the longest export process for anything I've ever done. Getting things. Jesus. Okay, I'm definitely checking out that Gopi plugin after this. Another thing that I would love in Blender is just to be able to drag and drop OBJs into the viewport. There we go. Perfect. Okay. The mood of this artwork, I guess, kind of sinister, slightly dystopian, kind of goes with the theme of Majora's Mask. Yeah, sorry about the wait. Jesus. That took a while. Anyway. Hello, Christopher. How can I help? For the music, it's just this playlist, or not playlist, I guess, just this song. Pokemon music. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. here as well, so. Looks pretty cool like this. Good idea. We'll find some Zelda music. This one's a great playlist for Zelda music. Why did the textures go on correctly now? Yeah, actually, it's a good point. Fuck it, I don't know. ZBrush. This is what you get with ZBrush. I don't know, maybe I did something? I can't remember, did I? I'm not entirely sure now. Yeah, the textures really shouldn't work. Why do they work? Okay, there we go. Probably flipped. Did I flip the UVs for this? while I was exporting the meshes? Maybe. Well, luckily you guys gave me a great trick, so let's use that here. We are doing, technically, Skull Kid wearing Majora's Mask. So we've just spent the past, I don't know, how long have I been streaming? 2 hours getting everything exported. Great, you know. Okay, that is good. Oh, that's creepy with the shadow there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really like, it's up in the air. Sometimes I name things, sometimes I don't. Man, this is looking, oh, this is looking super badass. I really like the look of this. Looks pretty cool with sort of white gloves. Looks very sculptural, this piece, actually. yeah, I hope you enjoy that. It's a very, very elaborate tutorial, and unlike some of the other videos or tutorials that we have, it's much more fundamental and it's much more, I guess, theoretical, but it's a lot of good things to know while you get into texturing, and not so much just the like, hey, texture this way, or sorry, sculpting, not texturing, sculpt this way, blah blah blah. No, so hopefully you're gonna learn a lot, and there's really a lot of helpful tools in the videos. Thank you, Christopher. Really appreciate that. I'm just gonna save real quick because I really don't want to have to do this again. No. I think we'll keep the shaders pretty basic. So we'll see what we end up doing, but shader wise, it's not going to be anything crazy here. Okay, that should be all of them. Wow, that is bright. Yeah, it's like you see it from angles it's not supposed to be viewed from. I haven't really bothered with that. It was more like a, you know, one angle kind of thing. So something like this, for example. Thanks, Amelia. I just kind of want to spin around it. I haven't really seen it like this before. Yes, the mask can never touch the face. Has anyone played around with the Screen Space GI add-on for Blender? I have it installed, but every time I use it, I get these weird like banding artifacts. There's like, not banding, there's like, it's almost like there's scan lines on top of everything in the image. It's kind of weird. One sec, I'll show you. Let me just get a frame here. Something like this. Let's see. There we go. Oh wow, that is a lot of extra light. But anyway, it actually seems to be doing a pretty good job this time. Interesting. Never mind. I'm probably not going to use it for this. Just because it adds so much light. Whoa. I don't know what is the difference between ray tracing and path tracing. I have no idea. Thank you, Chingy. And thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you on another stream sometime. I think that would be super useful in Blender. Would be if you could light link and have specific, specific lights only affect certain objects. That would make stuff like this a lot easier. Just like in Maya, for example, when you're lighting stuff, you could tell one light to only affect this object. Like if you wanted to create some kind of, like what I'm doing right now with rim lighting, for example, say that I only want the lights to affect Majora, not the floor. I don't want excessive spill light on the floor, which is really practical. Yeah, Blender doesn't have the feature. It's something that I've been wanting for a long, long time, but yeah, it doesn't exist. Thank you, Christopher. No, there actually is no way to do light linking in Blender. Like actual light linking. But you see, this is the problem. There's tons of kind of ways you can do stuff with light to not have it affect, but like, I'm just talking about a simple switch. You know, you have a list. In that list, you define which objects a list can or can't affect. I've been getting around it sometimes with like spotlights, for example, and like you say, light attenuation, but it would just be so much easier if we could just not. Why is that shining through? Interesting. Probably a reflection. I mean, if someone made that for Blender, that would be amazing. I don't know how to do it, so, you know, it's not gonna be me. bloom is already turned on. Pretty sure. So. Hey. Jo. Jeg kan virkelig godt bruge noget light linking. Ja, for især til sådan en mørk scene.
Ja,
ikke også?
virkelig. Så må bare give det lidt mere lys.
Ja.
Kender det ikke?
Jo. Negative light strength. That is an interesting concept. Let me test it. Actually, let's just test it right here. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be some fiddly stuff. Let's give it a shot with the negative light strength. See, that's where light linking would be amazing. This does help a little bit. It's an interesting concept, for sure. Grace come got a weird hotspot up there. There you go. I am the chat, I guess. I'm streaming. But yes, what's up? A Titan. What is it called? Like an RTX Titan? Something. Yes, I almost always have this kind of flooring just because it creates it's a nice drop off for the light. It always creates like a very soft drop off, which I like. No, not a 2080. Like, I think it's just called an RTX Titan or something. Yeah, RTX Titan. Just the Titan. RTX Titan. It's not a newer model. It's not like the 3000 series or anything. To your question, Dimitar, here, go check out Nextut's store, specifically this course. It's a pretty tight one. Not the best looking character, but the techniques are very solid. No, I haven't heard of that. Hartford's Game Art course, sorry. Experimental 4000 series. Yeah, that's what's happening. don't know. I don't really work with Unreal, so I couldn't say. But I mean, I think Eevee's pretty solid for stuff like this. It's super fast and it allows you to iterate pretty quickly. Oh, I actually don't know. I just have some kind of Acer monitor. Nothing fancy at all. I'm actually curious. Let's try to switch the cycles. My GPU might go a little crazy now. Ew. Oh, yeah, no, we don't. FlippedNormals, the company, as you know, we haven't made a game character tutorial. Sorry. It's probably because it's close to 2 a.m. and I'm very tired. Oh, right. That would be why the GPU isn't saying anything. ASMR stream, yes, exactly. Can you do that with cycles? Thought you couldn't. The only thing that's annoying about this specific kind of render that I'm after is that I actually don't really want bounce light that much. So let's see. Oh. It's a sleep stream then. It's interesting. I think there's a lot of bounce light being created for the feathers here. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of my issue right now as well. I tried switching to the CPU just to see if that's gonna fix it. I'm not sure if it will. Let's try and see that. I think that's somewhat stable-ish. Try it. You gotta have rim light. That's just what it is. I'm really enjoying the tablet, actually. It's a lot faster for me, personally, to work with. And I don't know, I just really enjoy the workflow of being able to it's more immediate, the sculpting, like one-to-one. I really like that. All right, JJ. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that, Nathan. Seeing a lot of buffering as well, which isn't ideal. Like you need like a separate setup basically for the stream, I feel like. But yeah, it's also like 2 a.m. here, so I think I'm gonna call it quits for today. Oh yeah, tech. I've had issues with my back in the past when it came to display tablets, but I think it was mainly due to the stand and not so much just the tablet thing. So far, this works, with regular breaks and everything. The only annoying thing is the keyboard position. Like, because the keyboard is, right now it's behind my screen, so it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. I can't really type that well. But I've been looking into a smaller form factor keyboard. No, I started with digital sculpting. I've done a little bit of traditional sculpting, but nothing noteworthy, really. Definitely couldn't call myself a good traditional sculptor at all. I think I'll leave this. Yeah, I'll leave this stream up on the channel so people can check it out if they want to. It's not gonna be the most interesting one, I think, because for the first 2 hours it's just me screwing around with ZBrush and exporting stuff. But if you want to check it out. Yeah. I'll return to this render tomorrow. I think I've just gotten to the point now where I'm so tired. I just look at it and I can't make it work right now. Thank you, Christopher. And thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I think I'll end the stream now. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I don't know if I'll do another one of those streams. It seems like this whole rendering and lighting thing is hard to stream just because it hogs whatever the GPU for OBS. So I'm not sure what you do there. But yeah, definitely for more like sculpting streams and stuff. And we'll be doing more of those when we can. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and good night or good morning, wherever you are.